Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to Letting It Out to Let It Go series, which is dedicated to healing, growth, and finding closure. Here, I narrate your personal stories, capturing the raw experiences and lessons that shaped you. This series is a safe space for anyone seeking to let go of the past that they've been holding for some reason. By letting it out there, ultimately leading to peace of mind. Names in the story have been changed out of respect for everyone involved and to protect their privacy. I'd like to tell you a story from my college days. It was the start of a new semester, and we had to choose between Elective A and Elective B. Most of the class wanted to take Elective B because most called it an easy subject, although my reasons were different. I wanted to take Elective B because taking it would align with the field that I was going to pursue in the future. In fact, I took the course for that particular subject only. Another classmate of mine wanted to take Elective B because Elective A was the advanced level of a subject that he didn't had any experience with when it comes to previous level, but had experience with the Elective B subject. So some of us had our own reasons. But Renuka ma'am, the lecturer who would teach Elective A, insisted that we take her subject. Also, there was no teacher to teach Elective B in our college. There was no such facility. So, when a lot of times we went to the head of department, especially us 5 to 6 girls who were regular students, to convince him about allowing us to take Elective B, it would end up being a no from him. We also went with Adi and other boys to the head of department, who then would tell us, let us have a class meeting with all your classmates present, and then based on the majority, we'll decide whether you will take Elective A or Elective B. But that meeting never took place. I remember Smiley was very eager to take Elective B, but her best friend at that time and another girl, whom we'll call Anna, were against it. Their plan was to take Elective A and then attend classes for Elective B subject as an extra course during the summer after college ended. However, due to an incident that had occurred, I was certain that we would no longer have the opportunity to take separate classes for that subject. I did tell them that. It was common sense. Something Smiley's best friend and Anna seemed to lack and choose to ignore, as if they didn't care. Smiley may have known what she wanted, but I didn't care what the outcome would be. Even though I had my reasons for choosing Elective B, I didn't want any conflict. So, I mentally prepared to take either Elective A or Elective B. I recall one time when Smiley, her best friend, Anna, and I discussed this with Adi. Smiley's best friend and Anna favored taking Elective A, while Adi supported Elective B. We were in the lab where Adi was working as a lab assistant when Anna and Smiley's best friend said they were going to do practicals, leaving Smiley and me with Adi. Adi continued with his work, and after a while, Smiley said she was going to join them. I knew that once she went over, Smiley's best friend and Anna would try to influence her into choosing Elective A, as that was their preference. I anticipated this because I knew Smiley would get easily influenced, and all of them had a history of manipulating one another. Having been Smiley's ex-best friend, I knew her well. Eventually, I went to the computer lab to do my work, and sure enough, what I expected happened. Smiley told me that they had decided to take Elective A. This didn't surprise me, but the way she said it would be fine if she had chosen Elective A. After all, it was her decision. But the tone she used was one of the rudest I had ever heard from her. as if implying that I was the one hell-bent on taking Elective B, when in reality, she had been the one who wanted it most. It was one of the rudest interactions I had experienced from her. I responded by simply saying that it was a good decision, trying to keep my anger at bay. After that, they left the lab. I continued with my practicals, but when I returned home that day, Smiley messaged me to inform me that they had decided to on Elective A. As if declaring it in the lab wasn't enough, the message made it clear where she stood on the decision to choose Elective A. The deadline to submit the application form in which we had to specify our elective subjects for the semester finally arrived. I wrote down Elective A as my choice because Prerna ma'am, who was a good friend of Renuka ma'am, insisted me to do so. I complied, accepting it without much fuss, though I admit I felt a bit sad and disappointed since the subject of Elective B was the main reason I had enrolled in this course. I remember reminding Adi to submit his application on time, but bro was a different kind of a person. What can I say? He said he would submit it on Monday after the application deadline, and that he would speak with the HOD about choosing Elective B before handing in his form. He made it clear that he was determined to take Elective B. The next day, Smiley asked me in the challenging tone, "Did something happen? Did you take Elective B?" I told her no. To which she replied, "See, nothing was going to happen either way." I remember telling Adi about it. Adi was determined and he said he would do what he wanted. I asked him, if possible, change my elective from Elective A to Elective B on the application form in case he managed to make any changes. I then went home early because my mother was unwell. Honestly, I didn't believe he would be able to do that. But I was wrong. He did it and even changed the elective on my application form to Elective B for me. What a miracle, I thought. That was the kind of influence Adi had, I guess. I remember him calling me around 2 p.m. to inform me about it. I thanked him and went back to serving lunch, quickly forgetting about it as I was absorbed in household chores. Later that evening, I glanced at the class group chat. The boys had texted that they had chosen Elective B. Out of 20 students in the class, only 5 opted for Elective B, or should I say, managed to take it. 4 of them were boys, and the 5th was me, the only girl. They were proudly boasting about it, which wasn't wrong. After being pushed and pressured by other students and teachers alike into taking Elective A, I couldn't blame them. But I chose not to mention it, as it felt like rubbing salt into an open wound for the others who also wanted to take Elective B. Besides, it wouldn't have helped them if I had told them at that point. If my elective change had happened before the deadline, that is, before my classmates had submitted their applications, I would have informed them. However, this happened after everyone, including me, had already submitted their applications, and it was only thanks to Adi that mine was changed. It all happened at the last minute. So, I just glanced at the chat and returned to my household chores. That day and the following few days passed in a blur, as my mind was preoccupied with various things due to my mother's health. I did eventually tell one of Smiley's minions in my class, as I had nothing to hide, and that's how they found out. Little did I know that Smiley, being her typical toxic self, would twist the situation into accusations of betrayal against the class. During this period, I was extremely busy and it didn't cross my mind to inform the class via chat about what had happened. Adi didn't inform them either. Truthfully, I wasn't obligated to share this information in the first place. That responsibility fell on Smiley as the class representative. Adi had reminded me multiple times when I told him about the way others were treating me, and his response was always the same. He had asked Smiley, Anna, and Smiley's best friend whether they wanted to choose Elective B, and they declined. They were there at that time when my elective was being changed and when Adi was submitting his form. According to Adi, he asked them when they were at the college and they refused. His consistent answers led me to believe him. It wasn't that I didn't trust Adi, but Smiley's behavior made it seem as if she was genuinely angry at me for not informing her. Then again, she had a tendency to jump to negative conclusions and be manipulative, especially when it came to me. To be continued in the next part.